Today in the crypto space, we see the market taking a bit of a dip. Bitcoin down approximately 2%, right around the $72,000 mark. Ethereum going sideways, however, showing a bit of strength relative to the rest of the market, right around 2,700. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, a mix of green and red, a few pullbacks here that definitely give us the idea that we should be buying a bit of a dip. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about Ethereum, guys. What's going on with ETH? Are we showing strength or are we continuing the sideways price action? So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's see what's going on here with this general market. We see the market cap kind of going sideways, slightly downwards, right? It's down approximately 2.5%. Nothing major yet. Is this a flag for continuation to the upside? We do see a bit of a dip in trading volume. Also, you know, we want action, of course, guys. We always want action, but that's not the way the markets work. The markets, you know, they cool off, we retrace, we continue to the upside, we retrace maybe harder than expected sometimes, but ultimately the market works in peaks and valleys. We can't keep on going up sustainably forever, right? We need to make sure that we have healthy back tests, healthy levels of support along the way. And this is what's happening here. Now, we also have to understand that Bitcoin is almost breaching the all-time highs, right? Almost there. And you are going to expect that there's going to be a little bit of resistance there. Of course, there's going to be resistance there. Of course, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin in a second. We'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart just as a leading indicator. I do that every single day just to give us an idea what's happening with the heavyweight of the market. And of course, I want to talk about Ethereum today, guys. What's going on with ETH? What's the sentiment like? And ultimately, what are the projects built on ETH doing in the next little while? Like, you know, a lot of us are thinking that maybe it's not valid or worth our time to be holding ETH, given that ETH is fairly stagnant. But what about the projects built on it, guys? That could be a very lucrative opportunity, particularly with diversifying your portfolio, get into some projects built on ETH. We'll talk about that in a sec. We'll talk about Ethereum. Let's scrape through the top 100 first, and then we'll get into those specific charts. What we got here is a little bit of a dip throughout the market. You can see even Solana's coming down a little bit, 4% to the downside, expecting some of these Solana projects also to be coming down. And as we keep on going down, we see Cardano going sideways here, still looking good, not too bad. AVAX getting a bit of a pullback, so you can see the market is in a slight retracement. Chainlink is doing great today, 4.5%, but it's a random anomaly. The rest of the market is down slightly, a few percent. I would say an average of about 3% maybe. Since Ethereum is showing strength, what I want to definitely keep an eye on is all the Ethereum-based projects, beginning with Uniswap, right? Uniswap is showing a little bit of strength here. You can see that it's looking for a breakout of the previous price structure, the previous high. What else do we have? We can see a lot of good price action, no doubt. Ethereum Classic is still showing strength, pushing upwards. We have Kaspa. A lot of people worried about Kaspa, guys. You know, Kaspa, I think it's just something that needs to be said, right? And ultimately, I've been saying this for a good little while, that Kaspa, in my opinion, is overvalued, right? It's just overvalued. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think it's too expensive for what it provides the market. Now, it doesn't mean that, you know, it's going to dump down to zero. It doesn't mean that, you know, it's garbage and that, you know, we're not going to see Kaspa continue up. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that I think the equilibrium price needs to be achieved. We need to find a floor price here. And the market's pricing in the true value of what Kaspa is. So I feel like, you know, until we get some confirmations of bottoms and sideways price action, Kaspa could be dipping down. It's still overvalued in my opinion. Stacks dipping, guys. Stacks is a great opportunity to get yourself into an exposed position, an overexposed position on Bitcoin without buying Bitcoin itself. It did dip down approximately 5.5%. Is that an opportunity? Perhaps. And as you can see, a lot of the Ethereum-based projects are doing good. We have Arbitrum waking up. Optimism is still showing strength. What else do we have? We have, what's going on with Thorchain? Rollover, just a little bit of a rollover. All good. Thorchain has been killing it. 18% in the last 7 days. So what? We get a 5% dip. No big deal. Let's see if we build structure. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we build a nice bull flag into here, and we see Thorchain Rune continue to the upside. Injective is looking okay. Celestia taking a bigger dip than expected. I was looking for a buy opportunity on Celestia, and luckily I did not buy yet because I was waiting for a dip, and it came down even further than expected. And since then, I changed my perspective. I feel I need to buckle down now. I feel like I need to be very selective. I feel like I need to really play hard to get with my capital. Not to say Celestia is not good. I'm just saying that I feel like I'm overexposed in some narratives, particularly the layer ones, and I need to really focus on my champions. Which are the champions that are going to lead me into this bull run, into the altcoin season? You know, obviously there are other projects that I'm more interested in. Phantom, obviously. Sui, obviously. There are many, even Solana. The Celestia cut the bill. To be honest, not really. I'd rather get into some other projects that are new, some more speculative projects than Celestia. I think I'm overexposed in the layer one. So this is a very important time, guys, to really be critical about your portfolio. Which champions in this market are you going to choose to lead you into an altcoin season bull run? Okay, that's something that you really got to ask yourself in the next little while. We have Strength. Mantra continues to the upside. Great stuff there, of course, for anybody holding Mantra. We have Rocket Pool. ETH, of course, is doing good based on the ETH narrative. ETH has been waking up and showing a bit of strength. Maker as well, showing strength there. And what else? Anything ETH related is looking pretty good, as you can see. So I guess that's what we should be talking about. ETH, what's going on with ETH? Guys, before we get ETH, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. I know you guys are here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, at the end of the day, is, looking a little bit weak. Maybe it's dipping down for a little bit, further continuation down. The question is, how low do we go? How much weakness do we really have below? I would say it's not that much. And ultimately, what do we do with regards to our altcoin pads? When do we buy the dip? Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail here, guys, because Bitcoin at the end of the day gives us tons of opportunities, as you can see throughout this moment of 250 days. Let's give it an average, guys. This gave you many opportunities to take risk. And as we approach levels that are classified as breakout levels, things get risky, particularly looking for entries on Bitcoin. So I think the agenda here is to find opportunities where you're not taking too much risk. In the meantime, we start looking at what could happen here with Bitcoin. Obviously, we're clearly getting a bit of a rejection. It's not massive. It's nothing to be worried about, but it's clearly here we see the market reacting. Now, what's most important is that you ask yourself, why are we reacting here? And I mention this almost all the time. You got to understand that people take profit. Short-term traders take profit. Long-term traders take profit. Even scalpers take profit. Traders take profit because that's the only way they're going to classify themselves as profitable, is by taking profit, right? Realized gains. So ask yourself this: who's taking profit right now? The couple people, obviously, short-term traders, people that bought here and ran it all the way up to the top of the range. Right? Very clear range bound type of price action. Maybe individuals that even got into a short-term move based on a bounce off of this 200. They definitely took profit. But more importantly, like I always do, I've been zooming out here lately, showing you this big picture structure. What about the people that literally bought the bottom down here? Are they locking in, securing some gains before we get into price discovery? Price discovery introduces risk. And in price discovery, historically speaking, when we see Bitcoin get into price discovery, that is the beginning of the rotation into altcoins. And again, the reason why is because Bitcoin introduces risk, because now you have no price action looking left to actually judge where it's going to go. That's one thing to consider, is that Bitcoin in price discovery introduces risk. And usually that's when we get a lot of the retailers involved into the space. In addition to that, who else is taking risk, taking profit? People that bought the tops here. And I know there might not be many. Okay, there might not be many because a lot of them most likely capitulated already. And that's what the market tends to want to do, get people wrecked and so on and so forth. And, that's what bear markets are big moves to the downside. Bear market moves, that's what they're there for, to get people that bought the top to really get shaken out, get wrecked, and call crypto a scam. That's what really they're there for. So guess what? people up here are also saying, you know what, I'm breaking even, I'm out. I held. I took very risky loans. I took lots of risk. And guess what? I'm breaking even. I'm out. I'm done with crypto. So we're going to see some individuals have that mindset. Even individuals right here that took some risk on these tops that have been holding for 250 days. Those guys are taking profit. So ask yourself, who is taking profit? Now, when those guys are done, we have, and as soon as we see that distribution, ending, we're going to ask ourselves, well, was that distribution strong? There are enough sellers to bring down the price. Guys, imagine if Bitcoin goes sideways here. How strong would that be for the market in general? Basically, every sell order gets bought up equally to the point that the price goes sideways. And that's how nice, strong bull flags are formed. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. But what I am saying is I'm expecting something to happen here with regards to confirmation. A confirmation here is what we kind of need. It would give us healthy confirmation that we're ready for that breakout. It would allow those short-term, profit takers to exit and do their thing. Nothing wrong with that, because everybody has different time frames and trades different time frames. And also those individuals that, are really, really salty right now, let's get them out of the market. You know why? Because ultimately they're not convicted. So we don't want short-term traders. We want long-term hodlers. We don't want individuals that are here just for a quick, visit. We want the visitors to go. They came, and let them go. So that's what's happening here with Bitcoin. Ultimately, this is a very bullish time for the crypto space, because if Bitcoin does break out, guys, we're going to start to see some really green price action. That's all I got for you here with regards to Bitcoin. Now, let's take a look at ETH, because ETH is in a totally different ballgame right now. Traditionally, ETH and Bitcoin go hand in hand. And I feel like Ethereum is losing that spot. Losing the right-hand man type of spot for Bitcoin, the wingman for Bitcoin. Bitcoin starts that altcoin, that bull run, and ETH is right behind it, doing its thing as a wingman, entering, the bull market doors, getting into price discovery, and doing its thing, bringing in all the retailers, all that bullishness. But look at the way Ethereum is positioned right now. This doesn't look like a person that's ready to run. This looks like an asset that right now is desperately trying to find a bottom. The good news is that as we hang out at this level, we're getting more confirmations that it does look like it's going to be a bottom. And if anything, at least we have an invalidation that clearly tells us that maybe it's not a bottom and we should de-risk, which is the bottom of the structure. You can clearly see that this was a downwards move to the downside. We are currently below the 200 daily, very clearly. The price action is going sideways as a bear flag should. And then obviously, if we break below the bottoms of this flag, which is at around $2,300, maybe slightly lower, point of control is very confident with 2250. And this level right here, if we break down, guys, that's a bear flag. We're coming down even further. And that whole sentiment on Ethereum might just increase and increase and increase. And that talk about, Solana flipping and all this, and Sui getting up there, and all of these other layer ones that are providing great smart contract platforms are definitely coming up Ethereum's heels and trying to, steal its capital, its market cap. And that's the way the markets work, guys. It's a competitive game. So the reality is right now is we are looking desperately here for support for Ethereum. And in the meantime, every time we do see a little pop to Ethereum to the upside, we should see Ethereum altcoins, Ethereum projects built on Ethereum, they should look great. And this is what we're seeing today, given the fact that in the last little whiles, we have been seeing that Ethereum has been showing a bit of strength on the way up, looking for potential breakout above the 200, above previous horizontal resistance, and ultimately giving us the signal that that rotation could be in effect, where people might be taking big profits off of Bitcoin and rotating into Ethereum. Now, if that does happen, that's obviously great. That's obviously great to see Ethereum back in action. However, guys, that talk about Solana and Sui and all of these other layer ones, basically sucking liquidity away from Ethereum, is definitely there. So this is where we're at. We need Bitcoin to continue doing its thing. But in addition, we need Ethereum to start proving to the market that it is here for this altcoin season, that it's going to be the leading indicator for that to happen. Now, in order for that to happen, guys, we need to see a breakout out of this structure to the upside. We need to break horizontal resistance. The most resistance that I see here is right in the zone, right at the 200 daily, right above this horizontal level at about $2,880, which is these bottoms right here. That's a big level, and ultimately, if we can get above that, sustain that move with good volume, maybe a back test so we can get in with confirmations, it will start to look very bullish for Ethereum, and will start to look really bullish for altcoins, given the fact that it's our signal that we are starting to get that distribution, that rotation into the altcoin market, being Ethereum being the leading indicator, as it's traditionally that indicator. Could something like this happen, guys? So this is what I'm really looking forward to, is to see what happens with ETH. I'm no longer a big Ethereum holder. I hold projects on Ethereum, not Ethereum itself. I hold a little bit of a layer 2 on optimism. But regarding the Ethereum narrative, I think if you're looking for those gains and you're looking for a bit of security, it's very acceptable to start diversifying into Ethereum-based projects, given they are smaller market cap. And if Ethereum does well, at least you have exposure to that volatility. Just keep in mind that the price has been going sideways while momentum is slowly climbing to the upside. It hasn't gotten overbought. And I've been showing you guys this across the market. I showed this concept to you guys on Bitcoin. Bitcoin started moving as soon as it went up for another impulsive move to overbought territory above the 70%. Ethereum could be following suit. Just keep that in mind. The only thing that bothers me is that as we are on this level, it's not like we're getting much volume, as you can see. And as we're in this level, you can see that the trend looks a little bit indecisive here with a little bit of divergence. However, you can't negate the fact that the momentum of this trend is still pushing to the upside. And all we need is a nice big push to, in the bullish control zone to see an expansion upwards, because we've been down for significant amount of time. So we need a bullish expansion to the upside with multiple little expansions along the way, so that we can see Ethereum show some strength. So I think it's very important right now that you really reflect on your portfolio, on what Ethereum, basically how Ethereum is represented in your portfolio. Exposure to Ethereum based projects is very important. Or are you going to diversify amongst other layer ones that are trying to be competitive to Ethereum? Ethereum at the current moment is looking great as far as horizontal support, but sentiment is at its lowest. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. See you tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.